Hello and welcome to a draft of Game 3 of Mufc Vici Gaming. We are watching the AMD Premier League number 2, or Season 2 at least. Well, number 2 with that as well. We're gonna see which one of these two teams will make it on to the semi-finals, because this is the quarter-finals, and one of these two teams will be dropped out. It is a single elimination bracket with best out of 3 matches. Both teams have already won one of their games, both doing it in convincing fashion. We're gonna see who will take game number 3. With me is Vikermont. He'll be my co-caster for this match. Welcome back.
Good to be back, Sheever. Very interesting games so far, honestly. The second game, of course, very one-sided, but the reason it's one-sided is kind of interesting to me because it seemed like MUFC just read Vici Gaming pretty effectively, because they had fairly similar lineups both games, that sort of greedy multiple farmers but no hard carries, just sort of mid-game dominance, mid-game carry type heroes across multiple lanes, and just the jungler for ZSMJ nearly always, and I just feel MUFC responded to that very, very effectively in the second game, so it remains to be seen whether VG do another similar lineup. They did do this tactical ban of the Nyx, which, among other things, allows the Alchemist to sneak through, and they've already picked up 2, fairly gritty heroes once again, so it remains to be seen whether we see ZSMJ on a jungle support for the 7th game in a row, but it might happen.
Yeah, and MUFC picking up the Shadow Demon and the Lifestealer still, again, potential to go for an aggressive tri lane, for dual core lineup as well, as we've seen them try earlier. However, the previous time that we saw them with a Lifestealer, it didn't really work out for them in terms of aggressive tri lane, but the aggressive tri lane that they did with the Shadow Demon actually worked out brilliantly. However, as you mentioned, Lina Leshrac banned out. Still have the Jakiro in the pool. We've got the OD, Bat, Vici and Nyx banned out now, of course, also the Chen, as well as those 2 supports I just mentioned. And the last ban is ZSMJ's Nature's Prophet. So
and they take the Enchantress.
They take the Enchantress themselves. And what is ZSMJ gonna play now in his 4 role?
Well, it's not going to be a farming jungler, that's
Enigma.
For sure. It could be Enigma. That's really funny. If they go for that, I'll kind of crack up, because it's just, yeah, they could do that. Again, pretty greedy.
Yeah.
Very greedy, in fact. I just don't know about this. I feel like MUFC is just really effectively reading. If the new VG with this switch to ZSMJ at the number 4 and FY at the number 1 only wants to play these sort of non-hard carries plus jungle support, then that's a predictable strategy, and they can respond to that by doing this 2 bans plus a pick. The Bane, I do like this choice though against Lifestealer.
Yeah, the other one that you'd still have for the same kind of role that he plays would be the Rubik, but just a Bane that can just shut down that Lifestealer, and of course making for a very safe lane as well for Vici Gaming, and setting up for a unstable concoction. It's just very strong coming up from Vici. Still remains to be seen how greedy they're going to be with their last pickup. I'm hoping that it's going to be Queen of Pain or a Puck or something like that, and just try to fight fire with fire in this one, because I think MUFC, now that they won that previous game, I think they found their stride and they know exactly what they want. They go for the Storm Spirit. They still need another. I think they're wanting to have another core, depending on if they're going to have their Lifestealer on an aggressive tri lane or not, because we have often seen aggressive tri lanes with an Enchantress in the enemy jungle work out, and Enchantress is a really good hero to have, of course multiple creeps, and also works well together with the Shadow Demon, because with the help of the Shadow Demon, she has the time to get in position, has got time to perhaps get her Centaur, for example, in position for a follow-up disable, and can make the lane very volatile for MUFC.
Yes, I agree with you, Sheever. I think that's actually a pretty strong option in this game. We have to see if VG's last couple of picks make that a less tenable proposition for MUFC. But with the draft as it stands, I think, yeah, solo safe for, possibly for FCFC once again. And maybe just, yeah, go with the aggressive try, press right up into that Alchemist. Is it? No, maybe not. Maybe it's Alchemist mid?
There's so much potential here. We can see Alchemist mid, we can see Darkseer mid, or Weaver mid has been done before. It can be anything. Every single one of these heroes we've seen solo before. And I'm still kind of wondering what the hero for ZSMJ will be. Assuming that he's going to play the 4 role, his hero has not been picked up yet. And it still could be an Enigma, actually. because vacuum into black hole does work out. It's nice against the Lifestealer as well. Kind of nice against the Storm Spirit, because of course he can't ball lightning himself out of that one. So it could be an option. But we'll see what Mufc ends up banning out here. As
laning is going to be pretty awkward if they do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think game 1 that we saw, Vici Gaming didn't really have particular super strong lanes. They just were able to they just were able to take advantage of the fact that MUFC wasn't that aggressive in their lanes. And then the second game, they didn't have very strong lanes, but then MUFC was super aggressive. Now, they don't really draft super strong lanes again.
Good. Well, we don't. I'm not 100% sure of that yet, because if they run Darkseer in the off lane, Alchemist mid, and Weaver as part of a tri-lane, I think that's fine. I think that's actually... They probably survive the tri-lane just fine. I mean, Weaver, Bane, plus, for instance, something like, I don't know, Rubik, versus Lifestealer, Shadow Demon, Enchantress is actually a perfectly fine matchup for Vici. The difficulty would be the Alchemist lane, but I think the Darkseer lane would just do fine. So I actually like what Vici are doing, and you can see MUFC assume that that's what they're doing as well with the Jakiro ban, because that's the only place that the Jakiro would go.
Yeah, we have got a Bounty Hunter ban out for Vici Gaming, leaves the Windrunner still in the pool. We already saw TFG playing that very nicely earlier on in the first game. That was actually the only hero that was doing well. So he could be picked up right here again, depending on how they're gonna run their lanes, of course. But yeah, they still have plenty of times left in their bonus time. Both teams actually do. I think this is the first game that these teams have so much time left at the end of the draft. And that just shows, like, okay, you know what? They've now played 2 games up against each other. They kind of worked out what the other one is about, at least for now. And know what they want themselves as well, even though MUFC is now taking their time, but could also take this time to discuss, like, how is Vici gonna run their lineup, where is who gonna go, who is gonna be playing what, and such, and just use their time because they have it. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, you're completely right. They have plenty of time to sort of sort out what they want to run. They also have the unenviable task here of having, you know, the previous picks. There's still a lot that Vici could do. I mean, as you said, they have some flexibility as far as their lanes go. Even something like Darkseer mid, Alchemist safe, and Weaver off is possible, although I think not probable. And MUFC with the Queen of Pain pick. So this does free up the possibility of just doing Storm in the 1v1, for instance, and then Queen of Pain in the mid.
Yeah, aggressive tri-lane around the corner from UFC again. Could be something, and oh my god, Vici Gaming goes ZSMJ tree. No! This is not the first time that we've seen him play tree. Ow, ow. Sorry. You wanna know where else he played tree? Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, in the 1v1 mid.
Yeah, in the 1v1 mid, where he actually got 1 kill, but he didn't win, but it's not the first time that he plays true.
He made a few questionable choices, in my opinion. He could have won that 1v1 mid.
Well, he did not.
It was epic, though, for sure. It was an epic one.
I don't think that LD found it epic. It took
he didn't like it?
No, it took so long. The game...
It did take a really long time.
You drag a game out so long if there's a tree, and I mean, the tower gets healed up again and all that stuff.
I believe that was the only 1v1 in that tournament that wasn't Shadow Fiend versus Shadow Fiend.
You're right. They changed up the way
they
did things because they ran out of time. Exactly.
Yeah.
They had to do something else. So, let's see who will be playing what and where. Vici on the Radiant side for this game will have FY on the carry role. It will be an Alchemist for him. We'll be seeing the Bane following suit. He'll be the hard support. No surprise there. Fenrir on him again. Or on the hard support again, not on the Bane again, the first time that we see the Bane. CTY will be taking on the Weaver in the mid lane. On the top lane we'll have Tutu again, this time on the Darkseer. And then one hero left, of course. It is the Treant Protector played by the former carry of Vici Gaming. It is ZSMJ.
Yeah, that's the main thing the tree is giving them here is the Weaver mid, which otherwise I wouldn't say would be a great choice. But with this tree, I think it's okay. Looking up towards MUFC, we have Ling supporting on the Enchantress. He will also be joined by... So is Winter back on support? He is. He's back on the Shadow Demon. So Winter on the Shadow Demon, Ling on the Enchantress. They are supporting what looks like... Actually, Hantrash player looks to be rotating on this Lifestealer, so we'll see where he actually ends up. But your remaining solo laners are TFG on the Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain piloted by FCFC. Yes. Will they actually try this tri-lane the Storm Spirit? Because this is something that we have seen teams do. Mao's used to do this with Korakai sometimes. Some teams will do this.
Yep, we've seen it before. It's the same story as we saw in the previous one, though. Actually, Hunter's player is getting nightmared here. John getting stun getting charged up. He picks up the rage already. Still takes a stun, but rage is out of it just in time during the duration.
Really
of
well
the,
timed.
Yeah.
He could have died.
He could have. He definitely could have if he didn't rage. However, now he did pick up rage level 1. Not the most ideal thing to have, and of course Vici now knows that. So. No, they can come in close. In the meantime, we have got a gank being set up. Winter was the one to pick up the rune in the end. It's an invisibility rune. There is, of course, a Tsukushi, so CTY not that scared of dying, but there are sentry wards up on the Shadow Demon as well, as a CTY apparently has lag.
It's going to be tricky because keep in mind that even if the living armor goes up, the Shadow Strike is going to take a lot of ticks of that, and after the nerf, it's only 4 ticks of living armor, or 4 stacks of living armor, I should say.
Yep, maybe they want to wait until FC is level 2. Just to have that scream. Because with the scream, they might be able to do it. There goes the sentry ward. There's the disruption. In comes the Queen of Pain. Indeed, with the level 2, with the scream. Is it enough? 1 hit needed. Living armor is actually on the... Painful.
Really?
Oh my god, that's so painful. I mean...
That is surprising that went on the tower instead of the...
Did
he just ping himself?
We saw this yesterday as well, and I mean it's known that if you click on the minimap and the tower is the tower has prio. If it's the same distance between tower and hero. So if you click on the minimap and you would click like around this, there is a very high possibility that you're clicking on the tower rather than on the hero. So that could have prevented him from dying. I think it didn't. First blood goes the way of Winter's Shadow Demon.
Yeah, that's not a good start for a VG to... I mean, this Weaver lane is already your most... It becomes a lot less questionable with the Treant, but that's the whole thing. The Treant did nothing for that first initial fight. And now there's the Sentry Ward pretty much camped out here for another 2 minutes exactly. And yeah, just so much pressure being put out on CTY already. VG are not really going to be happy with the start.
No, I think ZSMJ is not really happy with himself right now. The main thing is, of course, you know, forget and move on and do better next time, but it's still, it's a big loss. I can't overlook that one. Let's hope it doesn't cost them more than just first blood. FY is getting free farm here on this bottom lane, so that's good for MUFC, though we do have a Wild Wing Ripper coming all the way from the north. Of course, Enchantress just putting that one there just to annoy FY a little bit more with the tornado. 2-2 in the meantime can't stand on the top lane because he dies, so he's in the jungle, getting some extra farm and levels up. He's level 3. Does mean that the top lane is indeed just left open, and open for push as well, because tier 1 tower looks to be under heavy siege here.
I would say that once again, MUFC are performing very respectably across all the lanes they're contesting. Sure, Lifestealer isn't getting any last hits, but he's gotten okay levels, not great, not terrible. And meanwhile in the mid, I mean, they're doing quite well in the mid, and the top is just very dominant. TFG is finding his farm, and I like what MUFC are doing.
Yep, it's working out for them for sure. Slightly helped by the fact, of course, that VG is not really on par just yet, but we'll see. First tower already going down. MUFC taking that extra golden experience, and Lifestealer actually taking a ton of harassment here. He got the stun. They're looking to take him down, and they should be able to as well. He can't escape. This time he'll die. And this time Bane will take the last hit. So Vici Gaming at least still getting something there on that bottom lane, getting something in return for not really not really winning any other lanes, basically.
Yeah, the only area that sort of MUFC has revealed weakness as a result of the way that they decided to lane is that Lifestealer. So you need to dominate him to come out of this laning phase feeling good. And that's what you see VG trying to do. They're trying to make sure that Huntress player gets no experience, or as little to no experience as they can guarantee, and get a few kills on them if they can. And I think that's smart, because they have to do that, otherwise they're just going to accrue disadvantage over the course of the game. If they can keep the Lifestealer from getting anything, then they're at least in the position that they have somewhat of a 5v4 situation.
Yeah, and of course they'll have the Alchemist pretty farmed up as well, because he is actually going for his Grieful's Greed, doesn't need anything in Acid Spray, and you know, he's happily farming away. And that's a good thing for him, because he needs to. He is, like right now, the Weaver is not going to be a very dominant force in the mid game, so Alchemist is actually going to be having to step it up and be that force with the Shadow Blade perhaps, to just allow Vici Gaming to at least fight back if MUFC makes a move.
Yeah, and one good news for VG is after giving up that first blood, CTY's been doing extremely well. He's actually might go for this. He might go for it.
He has got living armor at his disposal. He does get it as well. The bugs helping out. The Crypt Swarm actually doing quite a lot there.
Yeah, and he was winning on farm in the lane even before that, even considering he got first blooded. That's the thing about a player like CTY. He really is one of the premier solo mids in just that 1v1 dueling context. And it's a tough situation from UFC. They feel like they maybe have to keep ganking him, or this Weaver will actually just get a ton of farm in the mid.
Yep. And with the tree, there's nothing really that can kill him off unless there's more people rotating. And so far, no rotations on the map for MUFC. We've got Winter still level 4. He's trying to stack and pull a little bit. I mean, there is a free farming Storm still, so MUFC probably not that worried. And he's going for that Orchid, and Orchid's of course very strong up against the Weaver. No time lapse, no Shikushi, no escape. And a Vortex to hold him in place as well, just in case. Very strong hero, and he is getting his farm up, so definitely something that CTY should be watching out for. But CTY has already got his time lapse, and he is gonna be pretty strong by the time that TFG is actually rotating.
This, in my opinion, is a classic Weaver has to rush BKB game.
BKB or Lincolns?
No, it's got to be. I think it's got to be BKB, because even supposing that the Lincolns takes away the Orchid, Storm Spirit can still throw out the Electric Lasso. Queen of Pain can still blow you up instantaneously, more or less. I don't think Lincolns is that great of a choice this game. I think BKB would be much, much better.
Okay, we'll see what he ends up
going for. It's cheaper, too, is the thing.
It is. That is definitely true. I have to say, I think I like Lincoln's a little bit more, but... Well, I guess the BKB stops more in this case. The only downside is that if Storm Ball Lightning's in and he has a Lifestealer with him, his Orchid is most likely going to be faster than your BKB.
That's true.
But then you can still pop your BKB anyway. Yeah. I know, it's just... Not entirely convinced.
I think there's a case to be made for both items, so I don't know what I want to do.
Will be a personal preference for CTY, which one he wants to have, as he continues to keep the harassment down. FC 23-5 on last hit, CTY 32-10. So definitely, even after, of course, getting first blooded, definitely winning this lane. And he has been getting the living armors as well. ZSMJ is learning from his mistakes. He's level 4, of course he also needs a level to get his level 7, get his level 4 up on the living armor. It's needed, it definitely is. Need those 7 instances getting blocked. He is pulling a stack
little trouble top.
To make it
a lot of trouble top.
Vortex, 2-2, still has the surge. Gonna try to TP out, should be able to do so because the Vortex is on cooldown. The damage is not enough, even though TFG did try.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good escape from 2-2. Having the rank 2 rather than the rank 1 surge helped a lot there because he still had surge time after the end of the Vortex. But yeah, I mean, that Orchid is going to be a serious problem for them, especially for the Weaver, but just really for everybody. And the fact is, Alchemist hasn't ramped up as quickly as maybe you'd like. He only has... Well, now he's 43 for 20, but I feel at 8 minutes, considering there's no opposition in this lane, they could probably be doing a little better on Alchemist. And they could have maybe 3 ranks in Grievel's Greed by now. And I don't know. I do think FY will find his farm, but I think it's just a matter of a little bit less familiarity with this role. Although he did used to play core heroes, so...
Yeah, we actually have got TFG sitting on higher last hits than FY. By quite a bit, actually. And considering that TFG was also involved in, of course, a tower push. Tier 1 tower went down. Normally when a tower is pushed, you don't get as much focus on the last hits because, you know, you're pushing the lane. But apparently that didn't hurt him at all, and it shouldn't happen that he is higher than a free farming Alchemist in terms of last hits.
And GPM too, but that's mostly a result of the tower.
Yeah, gold net worth is also in favor of the Storm, but indeed, that's going to be the tower that makes that difference. Otherwise, the Alchemist would be ahead of net worth purely for his Grievel's Greed, which is, by the way, he's keeping at level 2 because he started to skill the Acid Spray as well as the Unstable Concoction. So that just says that he wants to fight.
Yeah, if his supports keep stacking the jungle for him too, Acid Spray is a great farming skill to clear out 2 or 3 jungle camps. He's going to stun himself here, so again, they're not putting that much pressure out on Huntrash. He is only level 5, and where's 2-2 at? 2-2 is at level 7, so that's going well for them. I just still feel like VG... There's going to be a long period of time in which they're going to be very nervous about this game.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out. Fenrir, the one that you already mentioned, I mean, he is the level 5 support, or the 5 role support, I should say. He is actually level 4. He is just real sad in terms of net worth, and he has been in all games, but he is doing really well considering the low amount of funds he's been getting in all games. I just want to give a shout out to the forgotten support. That's hereby done. I mean, that's what you get if you have a role 4 player that... I mean, okay, he's level 4 now as well, and he's not going to get as much gold as he did in the previous games, but... I mean, he is still going to get more credit for things right now than for anything else. Although, with healing up the tower at the first blood, kind of that credit is taken away. Rotation coming up from Mufc, going into the dire jungle. It's a big rotation. Yep, 4 people in the Radiant jungle right now. Mufc looking to take down towers.
This is an instance in which the Shadow Demon pre-nerf would have done a little better. Because the Shadow Poison no longer tracks after it lands on a player. So they didn't have the extra vision on Fenrir and FY.
TFG is just looking to make a move. 5 heroes now of MUFC in the jungle of Vici Gaming. There goes a Nightmare up on 1. In comes his turret up for the stun, but FY already comes in. Sonic Wave, Living Armor keeps Fenrir up for a little while longer. And it's actually gonna be enough. In comes the stun. Disruption will save the Queen of Pain, as Bane will end up dropping Open Wounds up on the Alchemist. Gets Vortex as well. In the meantime, TFG jumps himself to the other side of the acid spray. Will end up going down. Weaver with a double kill. It is CTY that tries to make right for this one. The stun still hits up on the Lifestealer. No rage for him, and he'll end up going down. This is 4 heroes dead for only 1 small puny Bane.
There's that rage nerf, right?
Yep, and that Bane was just kept alive so long because of Living Armor and Brain Sap. MUFC wasted a lot on him.
He was. ZSMJ was actually walking up to him at the end. If he had lived for 2 more seconds, he could have gotten Nature's Guised and potentially escaped out of that. But even so, that was a fantastic fight for VG, and MUFC suffering for picking these heroes that get nerfed, right? Like, we talked about how their lineups often look very 6.770. I like their draft here, but you could just see the nerfs coming into play in that fight. The Shadow Poison Vision nerf, making them less confident in their dive, and then the Lifestealer Rage nerf, meaning that he couldn't just live through the Unstable Concoction.
Yeah, it's only level 3, so... level 3 to 3 seconds, rather. It is level 3 on the Open Wound, so that's kinda like building post-nerf, but... in this case, that wouldn't be that needed, because maybe you wait for a Shadow Demon to set up an Open Wounds for you, or maybe you wait for an Enchantress with their slow to set up an Open Wound, or a Vortex, you know, all those options are there, and maybe leveling Rage would have been better for Huntress player.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough decision to make, and I still think that MUFC, oh, this is trouble for Huntress player once again. They might get the kill here.
Nightmare set up, that's gonna be a kill. And Bane
Very
with
nice.
the last hit, yeah. And also, of course, getting some extra experience up on those supports. They're now level 5. They are still lower than the supports of MUFC. And I say supports in multiple, but there's actually only one, really. It's only the Shadow Demon, because Enchantress is level 7. And that's one of the counterparts of the supports, of course. That's one of the advantages that MUFC is getting. Just a solid jungler. And something that Vici Gaming this game does not have, because they were all banned out.
It's true, and the Enchantress is getting pretty good farm, but I do feel that the Enchantress hasn't really done that much for them just yet. I mean, he's 0-1-1. He has done some rotation, but really exerted no real pressure, and no real push other than the tier 1 top push. So they haven't gotten that much equity out of the Enchantress pick just yet. And god, TFG just taking a pounding for CTY again.
Yeah, he still has a full mana bar though, so he should not die, but he's taking a ton of damage here. There comes a time lapse. Looking to get away, should be able to. TFG comes back in with a bit of reinforcements, but nothing gained out of that. MUFC, I mean, they're rotating a lot here with their heroes, but can't really get anything right now.
I would love if they could get ZSMJ up to level 6 as well. In fact, level 6 on both supports would be really, really critical. Getting the Fiend's Grip will be a huge deal. Yeah. Getting the Overgrowth will actually be less of a deal, because it doesn't prevent spellcasting, and MUFC, other than the Lifestealer, are a very spellcasting-focused team. Yeah. But it would still be, for instance, for ganking Huntress player, Overgrowth makes that a million times easier. Yeah,
and of course, I mean, Lifestealer, he's already been shut down. So it's indeed, as you said, it's not that big of a difference for him, but we'll see. Queen of Pain blinks away, but CTY is actually not giving up. With the Iron Shell, with the Living Armor, he's feeling so confident. Let's see if he can do enough damage. The Vacuum misses, and that's going to be another blink. That should be enough. That should be not awarding a dive. CTY, he is still going. He's just gonna go for this. FC, another blink. There you go. CTY time-lapse himself out of the base of MUFC. Questionable dive, but hey, it didn't cost him anything, I guess. Apart from a time-lapse, which is a very short cooldown spell.
That's the thing about Weaver Tree, the combo. You can just push so deep with it, chase somebody all the way back into their fountain if you want. At not much cost to you, frankly. You could have stayed and pushed the tier 1 a little more.
Probably, yes. Meantime, FY has got Battle Fury. Acid Spray will help him with the Battle Fury also to clean out the jungle that has been stacked faithfully by the Treant, who is sitting around to gain some experience. In the meantime, the Bane will die on the bottom lane. He was left alone, tried to get some experience up for himself. Queen of Pain and Lifestealer coming in though. There was an Infest Bomb. Well, if you are going to have an Infest Bomb with the Queen of Pain and the Lifestealer, better your Bane dies from it than anybody else.
Yeah, it is very nice for Mufc to get a kill for Lifestealer, though. He's up to level 8 now, so he's back in the thick of his team's levels. But we do have the 3 core heroes for VG are all level 11, so they all have level 2 ultimate. Not a huge deal for time-lapse, mostly the lower cooldown is the biggest deal, but it is a pretty big deal for Alchemist, and it's good for Darkseer as well.
Yeah, FC building a BKB first. Let's see what everybody else is building. Of course, you already have the Orchid complete on the Storm, and that might make a difference in terms of aggression. Enchantress looks to be going for an Urn, has got the mana boots. Other than that, not really anything else just yet. No mechanism on the board for them either. And Shadow Demon, of course, not really getting enough farm for anything. So yeah, BKB.
CTY just spotted the Sentry Ward, so he might be safe. No, there's the Orchid coming into play.
Sonic Wave doesn't really do anything. Oh, Vortex! CTY will still end up going down. Disruption will be there to keep Tutu safe, or at least to keep Tutu away, rather. But they still got CTY. They get a kill. Nicely done.
Yeah, but even that, just barely, because of that sort of level position where CTY is actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
They did get a kill, though, and that's a critical kill. It delays his BKB as well.
Yeah, which indeed was his choice. So I stand corrected, and you're right.
Well, no, I mean, I think he had a lot of options. He could have even, if he wanted to go completely balls to the wall, he could have gone like Manta, just respond to the Orchid with an immediate Manta style. Yeah. The thing is, just the survivability isn't quite there. Weaver's such a squishy hero.
Yeah, now with the BKB a little less squishy. Darkseer, of course, I mean, I just said MUFC doesn't have a mechanism, nor does have anybody that is really starting to build it. We do have Tutu with the mechanism ready. So in terms of team fight, Vici looking pretty solid. I mean, they've got anti-acid spray to stand in during a team fight, mechanism to heal them up, leech heat in a clutch team fight, very important, same as overgrowth on the Lifestealer, just everybody to walk away from him. You've got a vacuum with that as well, and of course vacuum into unstable concoction if you can get it done properly. That's a brilliant combination to throw out. And in terms of team fight for MUFC, they don't really have that much. Sonic Wave is basically the only thing that you can really count there as a big team fight potential for MUFC.
Yeah, I mean, MUFC, I think they wanted a better Orchid timing. That the 4-for-1 trade in the bottom really, really, really hurt them. If that had tipped in MUFC's favor, if they had actually gotten the pickoffs there, they would be tremendously ahead right now. Like, it's tough to see from this vantage point just how differently this game could have gone, but they could be dominating almost as hard as they did Game 2 at this point. And instead, it's going to be a much... They can still win easily, but it's going to be a much tougher road than it was going to be. Yeah. Here's the attempted pickoff on FY. I think maybe they can get this? Yeah, probably.
Vortex is there. The silence is already up there. Here comes a Soul Catcher, and that will help take him down. He just bought out, though. He just picked up a Shadow Blade, so he really didn't lose anything. The courier goes back again with the Shadow Blade. But of course, he was in the middle of the liver ring. But nice pickup, nonetheless. And most importantly, I think that's very important in terms of levels. They just picked up a level 11 hero. And get a lot of experience for that in return. And, of course, a bit of gold. We have FC with the recipe for BKB. And he has got an Invis rune. It's going to be tough to take down CTY, though. Sonic Wave is there as well. Here comes a vacuum and an overgrowth. Darkseer Wall goes down as well. And all of a sudden, MUFC locked in place. It's Enchantress that goes down first. Fiend's Grip up on the Lifestealer. There's no damage, though, because they don't have the Alchemist there. Enchantress is the only one that drops out of that brilliant combination that Vici was able to throw out. Imagine that with an Alchemist there.
Also, the Overgrowth at the exact same time as the Darkseer Wall? I'm not sure about that either. Or rather, I should say before the Darkseer Wall actually comes up, rather than after. After you vacuum them, yeah, absolutely Overgrowth, but... They are still pushing in... I mean, they get the Tier 1 tower out of this. I think this is still a very good trade for VG, simply because MUFC has such a mid-game domination-oriented composition that every failed thing like that is a very bitter pill to swallow for the team that doesn't have the Battle Fury Alchemist.
Yeah, oh, silence.
Oh,
Citizen J, or sorry, CTY. Rather, he'll be able to live, though. It just does a bit of damage.
Yeah, you can just see the Orchid.
They're actually gonna go back in.
Yeah.
Looking for a pickoff. Iron Shell there, still there. Nice disruption. TFG has got a little bit of mana left. Will be forced to use it. In comes the disruption, or yeah, never mind that. That's Enchantress and Shadow Demon dead. In comes the Alchemist and the Weaver still. He's still gonna chase though. He doesn't see him, and TFD just does see him. So CTY will just finish up his BKB and TP out.
Yeah, and that's a big pickup for Weaver. Although, frankly, at this point, you see he barely cares about the Orchid, because MUFC just don't have enough follow-through damage to kill him during the Orchid time.
Yeah. That's so tough, though. I mean, that Living Armor has
tough.
been blocking so much. But they keep focusing up on CTY as well. And the thing about the Weaver is, you know, if you don't take him down to your burst, he'll time-lapse and he'll come back.
Right. I think VG are just really playing this correctly and generating enough space for FY, even if, you know, he's not the level of farmer that ZSMJ was known for in Dota 1. Oh, here comes the Lifestealer Bomb. They're going to try again on CTY, and maybe this is the key they need, but he's got his BKB now, so they have to be careful.
Yeah, they might find the tree on first, though, but the haste rune is there for ZSMJ. We'll be able to live. Oh, into the jungle. Fenrir, is he going to die again from this Lifestealer Bomb? Yep.
Probably.
Well, at least it's something, right? I mean, it's not the target that they want to have.
It's good to get the Lifestealer participating in as many kills as possible, no matter how unimportant targets are.
Yeah.
Simply to kickstart his farm. I mean, he's now tied for the highest level on his team, and he's got Armlet, so this is a Lifestealer that actually does matter to some extent now.
Yeah, despite having such a horrific start, of course, of the game. Tier 1 tower should be going down here in the mid lane. Vici Gaming does not have a fortification. They might look to fight though, but actually they're actually trying to maybe get Shadow Demon. No, CTY can't get him. No way to interrupt the TP. In comes the Alchemist, lands a 2-man on Stable Concoction, but it's 1 versus 4. That's not where you want to be. Ball lightning forward. Here comes a Vortex. In comes the Overgrowth. Hits upon 3. In comes 2-2 as well. With the Vacuum. That is already 1 down. Or not down just yet. 19 HP. 1 more hit. There we go. That's 1 down. Can they find another? Their sun is being charged up, but he won't be able to find anybody anymore. Delta split coming off from MUFC, and everybody backing off. They do get the Storm, though. That's good.
They got the Storm, and after, I mean, keep in mind they gave the Storm safe lane, right? So you need to, when you put your Storm in sort of that number 1-ish position, you have to get a lot out of that Orchid. Now he is 4-2 and 0, so it's not like he's doing poorly, but his levels are starting to struggle. He's only level 11, and now he's fighting. He's trying to kill level 13 Alchemist, level 14 Darkseer, level 14 Weaver. Wow, what a nice low ground to high ground nightmare there. They decided not to follow up on it. They'd rather just finish Roche, but that was still really neat. And the BKBs are starting to just stack up.
Yeah, and in comes the BKB. Sonic Wave up on 3. That's going to be 1 sad tree soon. If FC gets his way. Impetus comes from the high ground. Link picks it up. Nice Darkseer roller. BKBs everywhere. Not making it too useful anymore. FC's his BKB ended. He is infested by the Lifestealer and gets himself out. Winter tries to TP out. Won't be able to do so because in comes the Weaver with a double kill now. 2 for 2. And they're trying to chase down a third here for Vici Gaming. Yeah. Ling will get stunned up and will get killed off as well. And that's going to make it a 3-2 trade. But the main difference is the Storm went down again, and they only get 2 supports in return for that. And no Aegis. I mean, they didn't even burn the Aegis, right?
The Storm has to be wrecking because he's got to make up for the fact that your Lifestealer is under-farmed and under-leveled, right? And again, they're just not. And now that you see the 2 BKBs on the Weaver and Darkseer, Queen of Pain and Storm Spirit just run smack dab into that wall, and what are they going to do, right? Like, you just don't really have that many options since it's not like either of these guys goes auto-attack build. So, the Weaver now extremely dangerous. The Weaver has Aegis. One cool thing that CTY did there was really, really delay the BKB. Not just a hip check BKB like, oh my god, Storm Spirit's coming, I better BKB. He waited until a substantial amount of time after his time lapse.
Oh, wow, brilliant vacuum into Unstable Concoction. That's 2 kills right there. Double kill for CTY. Well, he was not the one that set it up. I think the credit should go to Alchemist or Shadow Demon. In the meantime, Disruption will hold CTY in place as the rest of MUFC gets back into their base. But CTY thinks, well, now that's my base right now. Wants to take down Winter. Gemini attack is going to get him. That's going to be a triple kill. Looking for a 3rd kill. Looking for an ultra kill. And it looks to be a Fiend's Grip to help out, killing off the Lifestealer. Ultra kill for CTY. Buyback instantly. Can he get a rampage is the question. I don't think so. It looks like he wants to try, though. Backs off in the end. In the meantime, his team just walks up the high ground. Now goes for a tier 3. Vici Gaming looking very strong this game. And so far, MUFC not able to make their lineup work all too much.
I actually think that their lineup was pretty solid. It all comes down for me to that big fight at the bottom, and they just got out-executed there.
Yep, Nightmare keeping Fenrir safe. In comes BKBs everywhere. Sonic Wave will still clean out the Bane. There goes the Storm as well, though, but he buys back. We'll be back in a second. Lifestealer trying to arm the toggle, infest himself into a creep. Will be safe for the moment. Infest himself out to get a kill on the Alchemist, or at least to help get a kill on the Alchemist. Good defense indeed. In comes CTY. He's not done just yet, but he gets disrupted. The Sentry Ward is already there. Can he get away? Orchid is there. Is there a slow? Demonic Purge not there. Now he gets slowed. Open moves was there, but he time-lapsed himself into safety. Walks the other way instead. Nice save. And that should be everybody out. Or should it? Oh, Fenrir, what you doing there?
He thought he needed to come back in to save CTY. Actually, he used buyback for that, so this is a Bane that's now... was just experiencing the wonderful experience of not being super poor.
Yeah.
And now RIP to those who died. Lots of buybacks in that fight because, of course, MUFC had no chance without those buybacks. And VG probably didn't need to buy back either the Alchemist or the Bane because they got nothing from either buyback. But they did force out 2 buybacks from MUFC, and you always want to be forcing more buybacks out from the side that's behind because it just puts them farther and farther behind.
Yeah, I'm kind of like... Of course, it was a nice fight for Vici Gaming still. They got the tier 3 out of that. They got an ultra kill for CTY. I think that if CTY didn't focus so much on those kills, they could have gotten Rex.
Probably. But, you know, who can blame them?
Kills are fun. Killing is fun.
Kills are fun.
I don't blame them. Shame he didn't get a rampage though. Gold graph in the meantime going to 20k in favor of Vici Gaming. No real surprise there. Experience graph not looking any different though. The numbers differ a little bit. 15k experience going the way of Vici Gaming. And
this big ancient stack, FY, just rockets up in gold. He just got all the buyback gold and more back.
Ouch. I mean, the
SMJ has actually had a really solid tree game. Other than that huge, enormous mistake early on, he's played very, very well.
Yeah, and he'll be, you know, remembered. Because it was a first blood also, not just a kill, no, first blood.
It was a pretty big mistake, but he's made up for it by playing very solidly.
I swear we saw it yesterday too, or the day before, at least this week.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
Not
Smoked
from
up.
him,
They
but...
want more.
Yeah. Let's see if they can find some kills. Of course, with kills comes towers, if they get enough. They're just gonna go
Weaver
through
now has Yasha, so he's building towards Manta, and he already has his full Daedalus.
Infest
and still a minute on...
Fiend's Grip.
Fiend's
Grip on the Storm. There's a Lifestealer inside that he will infest out. There is the Vacuum. That's going to be Ling already down. Nice overgrowth. Darkseid with a double kill. And the Luke to take down Winter now as well. Already 3 dead. The GG has been called. That means that MUFC will not go on. Because it is a single elimination bracket. Wow, why do I see this?
Why am I losing?
I will not lose. No.
No.
Ah.
We lost, Sheever.
We did.
Lost. We're going to lose again?
Oh yeah, some of the casters pressed cancel.
Oh, did the casters say GG? That's so funny.
No. Yeah, oh, the admin called GG.
Just don't call GG. Caster team will be supreme.
Yep. Well, now we have to wait until the automatic GG from all the disconnects that MUFC has. I mean, Vici Gaming will move on to the semifinals. Semifinals will be starting on Monday. Today we still have one more quarterfinal match to go. We see Rattlesnakes taking up Natalic Singapore. Natalic Singapore, you might be wondering why are they in the quarterfinals? Well, they managed to beat Rising Stars, so Rising Stars is out. Natalic Singapore will be facing Rattlesnakes after this match. I know that you're not joining me, Vikermont, so if you have any shoutouts and plugins, this is the time.
No, mostly just the viewers. Thanks everybody who checked this out, either in-game in the Dota TV client or on Twitch. Always fun to hang out with you all. Always fun to get to cast a series between 2 teams that I really like. I think these are 2 very strong teams that are always cool to watch. And especially VG, they've had a bit of a revolving door in terms of roles, players, but still a very exciting team.
I fully agree. And I'm looking forward to already the semi-finals, but for now, first, more quarterfinals to come. Also, of course, thank you for co-casting with me. For the rest of the day, we'll have Knaus co-casting with me, if all goes well, if he is indeed woken up. So we'll probably be back here in just a moment with the Rattlesnakes taking on Natalic Singapore, and we'll be right back.